Chapter 9. Chef Nancy looked at Tate. The double negative, no wins, and a bad review from Chef Porter had taken its toll. He stood motionless, head down and shoulders drooped. Thankfully, there was still time to turn things around. Knife skills were next. She looked at her watch. Yes, there was time. She'd add a chopping challenge. Tate was a master chopper, and hopefully this would improve his mood. Chef Nancy glanced around the filming studio. The contestants were at their workstations, the gadget wall was in place, and the medics were seated. Medics were present for all cooking and knife-related lessons and challenges. Safety was important. She made her announcement. Next up, we'll have a knife skills lesson and then a chopping mini challenge. She snuck a peek at Tate. He was listening and straightened up, surprised. Chef Nancy always started the knife lesson with a paper test. A sharp knife was a chef's best friend. A dull knife was dangerous. She had everyone hold up a piece of paper and then slice it in half. That was the test of a truly sharp knife. Everyone knew the basics: pinch grip for holding the knife and claw grip for holding whatever you were cutting. Safety and calm were essential when using knives, so time challenges were out. Chopping challenges were graded solely on skill. Chef Nancy held up 3 carrots. She sliced the first one paper thin. Then she used the bayonet cut to turn the other 2 into sticks. She held them up for everyone to see, and then chopped some more until she had an assortment of large, medium, and small cubes. She picked up one of the tiniest cubes. Does anyone know the name of this cut? Tate, Oliver, and Caroline all raised her hands. Chef Nancy pointed to Tate. Brunoise cut. He grinned, bouncing up and down. It was his specialty. Steve and the camera people came in just as the lesson was finishing up. Mark and Janet quickly took their places. A minute later, Steve gave the start signal. Rolling. Chef Nancy held up an onion, a turnip, and a potato. This challenge is not about time. It's about perfection. I want you to turn this potato into tiny cubes, this onion into paper-thin slices, and this turnip into perfectly julienne strips. You may begin. Tate peeled his potato, cut it in half, then used the bayonet cut, just as Chef Nancy had demonstrated. Minutes later, perfect tiny cubes fell onto his cutting board. When Tate was chopping, his feet didn't bounce and his concentration didn't waver. He was calm and careful. At the end of the challenge, Tate had the largest amount of perfectly sliced onions, julienne turnips, and cubed potatoes. Congratulations, Tate. You are the winner. You may choose an item from the gadget wall. Chef Nancy breathed a sigh of relief. Tate jumped up, high-fived the air, and raced off to the wall. Seconds later, he was walking back, carefully holding a Santoku knife. Nice choice, Chef Nancy nodded approvingly. Tate grinned. Oliver was surprised by Tate's win. Tate has knife skills? Ray beamed. I know. Isn't that great? Now we all have prizes. Caroline didn't say anything because she was crying. The tears were mostly from the onion, but a few were from something else. Chef Nancy was holding one of her camera cards. I'm sorry, Caroline. You can't turn your back and try to hide from the cameras. They need to be able to see what you're doing. Caroline sniffled and nodded. The cameras were always watching, ready to catch any mistake. Just thinking about it made her hand shake. Not a good thing when she was in the middle of chopping up a turnip. I'm glad Tate won. His food truck idea was kind of bomb. This might help him feel a little better. It's hard when you disappoint the judges. That's not something you can easily forget. Oliver.